Okay,
whatever that means.
I'd like to call to order the Beechwood Independent School District Board of Education meeting of June 12th, 2023. Mrs. Reed, can you take roll call?
Mrs. Berger? Here. Dr. Savignano?
Here.
Mrs. Slate?
Here.
Mrs. Stricker?
Here.
Any recognition tonight? Any public comment?
Nope.
All right.
Not tonight.
Move right into the discussion and action agenda. First one up is the local planning committee hearing report. They held a hearing on June 1st, 2023 to finalize the DFP. I'll accept a recommendation or a motion to accept the report from June 1st.
I move to accept the report from June 1st, 2023 LPC hearing meeting.
Second?
Okay, just, you know,
I couldn't.
I just want to make sure. The local planning committee, just to highlight, outlines as far as priorities. Parking is obviously our greatest need of new construction, as well as we did add an agri-science research and development building. And then as far as non-educational additions, we would also add an expansion of the cafeteria. That is one that, you know, may become a higher priority than the others as we move into new property being added to the district. But those are basically the top three areas that the LPC, the local planning committee, identified as needs, future needs. Any questions?
None.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Mrs. Stricker?
Yes.
Okay, moving on, the district facility plan. I'll accept a motion to approve the final draft of the district facility plan, excuse me.
I'll make the motion to, for the final draft of the district facility plan.
I will
Approval.
second.
Okay, so once the local planning committee submits its report, the state finalizes that into our district facility plan. And again, our district approved, state approved district facility plan that's coming back to you guys still has the top three priorities as new parking, agri-science, research and development building, and a cafeteria expansion. Same three things. Once you approve and vote and approve on that will become your official district facility plan for the next 4 years. Questions?
You ready? Oh,
None.
no. Ready? Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Mrs. Stricker?
Yes.
Okay, next is the updated policy and procedures. This is a first reading, no motion required.
You guys received, Mr. Vano did a great job of doing a synopsis for each one of the changes. I thought that was really good, and we'll continue to do that moving forward. I thought that was much better than me going through all of them. The one that still provides some, I'll continue to highlight this in case it ever happens. The one that continues to provide some angst is Senate Bill 1 from a year ago versus 150 from the past year that seem to give different rules around curricular decisions. That's the one that we'll continue to highlight and watch, but that is my only one that, you know, I just want the board to continue to understand that is a conflict, so it depends on exactly what curriculum. Senate Bill 5, I'm sorry, Senate Bill 1, safety. Senate Bill 5 and 120. Senate Bill 5 gave the curricular decisions to the superintendent. 120 come back and talked about material that could be challenged, and that would go to the principal, then to the board. All right, so that is one clarification, and I'm sure it will end up in a courtroom setting, but that is the one clarification that we're still trying to find more detail on. Any other specific questions on any of them? Mr. Vanover, any that you would like to point out?
I think the Senate Bill 150, Senate Bill 5, that you pointed out, probably the two most profound. You talked about House Bill 3831, Ms. Berger, you kind of talked about the AED laws. That also means that we now have a comprehensive cardiac response safety plan with training for all coaches, all athletic directors, and AEDs. I will say this, that we already have the AED placements. We are already in compliance with that HB 331 as far as AED placement. And our athletic directors have already planned the actual exercise. We have to have actual practice training. That's already been scheduled for our coaches.
The one thing that we do that I really do appreciate is we have the heart screenings. And that's really, in my opinion, it's great to have the AED on campus, but to be able to catch, some kind of issue with a kid way before it becomes to that level is, I think we do a great, that's one thing I really appreciate that we do.
On
so.
just the athletic side, or, okay.
Yeah, anybody that's involved in any extracurricular can come up to school and do that.
But it's not required.
It's not required. We can't require an
Yeah.
outside medical screening, but
Right.
it
I just
is-
didn't know if the state had changed that as well.
No.
Like, I didn't know if they.
It's really nice. I did it for Sam.
Yeah.
It just catches whether there are any punctures in the heart or any enlarged heart or any of the other issues that typically lead to cardiac arrest. And that's a good peace of mind as a parent.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. Okay.
I do have one question.
yeah.
On the, you said coaches are going to be trained. What staff inside the building during the school day are trained on that?
It reverts back to our school nurse.
Okay.
So our medical personnel during the day will have access over like a teacher.
Okay.
PE teachers.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. There was no motion on that one. Next up is the consent agenda. I'll take a motion for approval to adopt the consent agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approval for the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, one apology on the consent. Boys basketball team, that trip has already happened. They go to Transy every year, so we'll try to do our best to get them to submit that in May. A little bit of grace with a new coach this year. One amendment to the salary schedule. I inadvertently left the district health coordinator stipend off the schedule. So I needed to put that back on, and that is the one additional line that was not on your original stipend schedule last month. Archery surplus, we do have quite a bit of stuff that's coming out of the archery program that will be surplus. And then we'll move forward with the insurance renewal with Liberty. Several reasons for that. I'll be glad to go over those if needed.
Why is the archery equipment, did we just upgrade?
Yeah, it's just older, especially targets, and we've got some newer targets, and so I think they're going to donate those to a new program.
Okay.
With your blessing. It's better than throwing them away.
For sure.
And other than that, it's basically a June agenda, so I mean, there's not much on there.
Okay.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Salvignano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Mrs. Stricker?
Yes.
Okay, rolling into the information section. Superintendent's report.
Okay, I'll go from back to front as far as a construction update. On the back, we're on hold for the lighting packages. There's not anything that we can really do moving forward until the lights come in. They're supposed to be here the last week of June or the first week of July. There was a delay. So that our goal is to be finished with everything on the stadium entrance by July the 15th. The Tiger is on site. The iron gates and arch are in the warehouse. So really, we're just waiting on the lighting package to be able to move forward. You'll see around the circle, there's one, they'll pour this week, but they were wanting Moats to get some of their equipment out of the way. They'll pour a stamped concrete, and then that'll be the last thing they can do before the lights come in. So again, plan on being done. Our goal is to be done July the 15th with everything on the entrance. The field, everything is completed. I mean, it's even drug on the right-hand side, so it's at grade. They'll finish up the other side tomorrow, and that'll be officially done. A plumber will come in and cut a trench drain at the bottom of the hill, again, to divert water coming off from this side, from the gym side, and that will happen this week or next. A curb will be poured on the hillside by Parker Concrete, and then we'll start laying turf. So hopefully, again, our goal was to try to be done in a best case scenario by the end of dead period. You know, if the turf will just come in, because they had to try to push up the order because we haven't had any rain that's delayed them. So if that comes in, we should be in good shape. If not, we've always said first week of August, and I don't see any problem with that happening. Moving around to the front.
Where is it they're gonna pour? Where did you say they're gonna pour on the hill?
There'll be a curb
Right
poured
there?
all the way down on the side at the bottom of the stadium entrance
Okay.
to be able to hold the cheaper type of turf that'll go up in those different pieces. Again, that was kind of a last minute shift, but there was no way we were going to get grass to take in June, and we were not going to put a brand new field down in and have runoff. So that was the little bit of a shift there.
And are we considering the scrap turf for that one area that still has grass behind the stadiums?
We won't use any, we won't have enough scrap. I mean, I can talk.
For what
I know
area?
exactly what you're talking about.
Behind, there's like overgrown
It's
grass.
like just,
Yeah.
Right
I mean,
behind the
we cut
stands.
down, it's right by the stands. When you walk into the stands on the left-hand side, if you're looking at the field, there's about a 5 feet
yeah.
stretch of grass.
We couldn't use any of is the old turf gone? The old
Yeah, the old turf, you don't even wanna, it was bad.
Okay.
It was bad. Moving around to the front, steel will start to be set on the front portion for the ceiling of the rooms next week. So that'll go in next week, and then from there they can start putting in the roof trusses. So the front of the building is going to look dramatically different over the next 30 days. Then the big steel will come in July now because they flipped it around. They flip-flopped and went ahead and moved the steel into the front of the building first over the big long steel that'll go into the auditorium. I think that was a good idea because that way electric and plumbing can go ahead and start to work. The really big stuff now will be coming in the 23rd to the 28th, I think, of July, one of those days. Campus will be shut down in the front, buildings will be shut down, during that 24 to 48 hours. Everything is in good shape as far as timeline. We're back in really good shape with the timeline, with the goal of being completely dried in on October the 15th. So right now, knock on wood, there's no problem. There should be no problem making that happen.
That means everything's under roof?
Not only under roof, but dried in, which means there's no, weather can't get inside the building.
What are the dates for the large steel you were talking about?
Date to the large steel, 23rd through the 28th of July. It's in their complex, but they switched. It was gonna go in first, which would be sometime this week or next, but they switched it to go ahead and put the steel in the front of the building, which I think was a better move. because that way when they're working on the auditorium, the electric guys and the plumbing guys can continue to work ahead in the second floor. Start to come into shape. We went over budgets today. You'll have a couple of decisions to make with contingency. So that will be pretty soon. I think we've picked everything out but the wood and the color choices in the auditorium. I think everything else has been set. We'll do that at the end of this week or beginning of next week. And then, like I said, between the interests that the money has grown, that, you know, because we get all that bonding on the sale of the bonds, right?
Right.
We get all that money. Well, it earns money while we're waiting, you know, to pay it out. So as of today, we had $671,000 of interest that we had earned off of that bond. And then we have about the same amount projected for contingency. So you're going to have a little bit of options to be able to sneak a couple of things in with contingency funds.
And when will we make that decision? Or that
We'll have retreat, and I'll kind of
Okay.
go over that with you guys, and then you all can give me your, I'll tell you the projects that are still going to be out there. And with that money, it'll probably be, our top three will probably be athletic in nature, because with 678 still being in position, you can bond for a limited amount of time. And so that'll probably be the top three recommendations. I mean, you all are pretty aware of what outside will be left. A softball press box, a baseball press box, a football press box, and tennis courts all need to be addressed. And then there are a couple of things inside the building that I'll give you the list, and then you all can tell me what your first 2 or 3 priorities are.
When we talk about tennis courts, what exactly are you talking? Because are we gonna be able to like fix that,
You will not have enough money in contingency to do land work,
to fix
to
the?
move,
So you're just
to move earth.
resurfacing, just talking about resurfacing.
Talking about like a remove and a true resurface. You could do that, but you don't have the money to start
But
moving
will
dirt.
so my question about that though is, will it move anymore? I mean, cause,
Oh, it'll continue to, like, you're always gonna have a cracking issue up there within 5 to 7 years until you address the
earth.
the 2 walls that are more for, I mean, just be honest, more for your backyard.
so do we know exactly with the, what's going on with the project that they're doing with the new bridge and everything that's coming up? I mean, do we have an idea of what exactly
Yeah.
they're gonna be doing to where,
Yeah, it will not affect any of our property,
Okay.
other than, you know, we already addressed with their plan, you know, the 1/10 of an acre out back.
I know, but what they're gonna be moving dirt and things, would it affect anything we're doing there?
I don't see it unless they make a change.
Okay.
My recommendation, if you choose the tennis courts, would probably be to not spend to just do a resurface, because I just don't see spending any large amount of money if you're not going to truly redo the.
And do we have an estimate for how much it'd be to do it right and fix that problem?
No, I could get one, but
But ballpark,
Will you include the blacktop area around it that's a hazard?
that's in the project
Okay,
now.
good.
Yeah, the blacktop's in the project now. It would be significant enough that you probably wouldn't be able to do anything else. It would take most of your budget, because not only are you having to move earth, then you're having to come in and put reinforced concrete walls in. I mean, truly, not a retaining wall, but truly steel reinforced concrete. And then going back and you're having to tear everything out, redo it, and put it back in. So you're gonna tear your tennis courts up as well. So you would be strong 7 figures. I mean, you'd be, 1.5 would be, yes.
what is our current projected end date to be done
Of which piece?
of everything?
Everything? December 1, 2025. Because we can't start the gym until after basketball season's over.
What about just the new building?
The new building, June 1st, 2024.
That's what I thought.
I guess it'd be December 1, 2024. Sorry, the 24-25 school year for the December 1, 2024 for everything. June 1 of 2024 for the front building. July the 15th for the stadium entrance. If weather holds like this, you know.
Well, what were you originally talking, like spring break of 24?
She said the targeted date.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
when,
okay,
if we
okay.
stay on, our
Schedule,
current
okay.
trajectory, we should be moving in spring break.
But our original date was June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which still gave us a little bit of flexibility if we ran into July. Winter was bad, spring has been amazing.
So we're still a couple months ahead?
About I think you said 42 days, 43 days ahead. If we, the major thing that you all and we are focused on is if we get dried in October, then we can rock and roll. If we don't get dried in October, and we get back into the wet months of winter, then we have more of a problem.
Will we be talking about the dedication at our retreat?
If you want to, are you talking about the opening? Yeah. I mean, if you want to, we can do it, or we can start planning it, more as we get to January, February. That's up to you guys.
I think it'd be nice to talk about it. We picked a date for retreat? Have we picked it?
That was on that was my next item. I've got to have admin retreat is the 11th, 12th, and 13th of July. I would love to have your retreat before admin retreat. So I kind of need to have a couple of options. I think last year we did it right after the 4th of July.
Well, but last year we were rushed because of the admin retreat. We had to get it done before. So if we could get it a number or a date today would be.
It'd be great.
What about the week of the 4th?
I'm available.
4th is Tuesday, so either that Thursday or Friday, 6th or 7th.
Is that enough time for you?
Yeah. Is that where we're is everybody available?
I'm checking.
All right. All right, well, I will hold both days, and then you can tell me which one you want. Off campus,
I think the 7th is a little better for me, but I probably could make, what hours are we talking in the morning? All day? 3 hours?
I would block 10 to 2,
Okay.
just to block, and if we get done early, we get done early.
I can make either work, but I think Friday's better.
So why don't we go ahead, tentative Friday the 7th?
Friday the 7th, 10 to 2. I will.
What? What?
Huh? Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at June before.
That's all right.
Does it work Friday for everybody else? Because that's not
I
ideal
can
for
do
me.
either, I think.
She said she could do either.
I can make either.
Yeah.
Thursday?
6 is,
All right, July the 6th, 10 to 2. And
You sure you got the right year, Jeannie?
yeah, I'm good.
2023?
Yeah.
All right, I will get that taken care of.
Thank you.
July the 6th.
You're funny, Ron.
A little levity. Good to move on?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, text
I
Brad.
think it's just really important,
Yeah,
like,
I hope
again,
he
anytime you
retired
want to
by
stop by and
then.
look at
Hope he
the
retired by
construction, I
then.
mean, that's obviously going to be our main issue. I'll go ahead and tell you too, they're going to break into the commons this week, so there are going to be big holes in the wall. Those are intentional. I mean, that'll be windows, but I know, people walking and, will worry when they see them going in. So 3 large windows go into that space, and we'll have to move the blue ribbon, sign.
Banners.
We're aware of that. That'll happen towards the end of the week. So that'll be a pretty big difference. Other than that, feel free anytime to stop by and look. I would say if I were wanting to see a big difference and get up on the second floor, you probably want to look at right around our retreat.
Okay.
Of really being able to see some major changes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Good June agenda.
Yes. I'll go ahead and take a recommendation for approval of making the agenda part of our official board minutes. I'll go ahead and make the
I'll-
motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Mrs. Stricker?
Yes.
Okay, rounding out, any other business? All good on my end.
Girls track, Wednesday. Pretty big
Yeah, that
deal.
was way cool.
Yes, that was after.
I know, it was after our last board
Yeah,
meeting.
that was a big deal. It's our 3rd female state championship, so it was nice. And it was quite dominating. I think they were 38
Tennis.
points.
Tennis went well this spring.
And this,
They've done a
40
tremendous
points.
job with that program.
What, with track? Mm-hmm.
yeah, we had a girls duo and a boy qualify, so that was
Tennis, yeah.
Yeah, they did well.
awesome.
Had a bad draw, but they did well. They didn't have a great draw.
They did not have a great draw.
Made the same, yeah.
They did
Happens to
not.
us every year.
They did not have a great draw.
Really?
Softball
Second
went
round's always against
to,
number one.
what was it, to the region? or
District.
District for the, I don't know if it was the first time. No, but the All-A
The
was a
All-A.
big deal, yeah.
They won the All-A. That was great.
No.
And baseball, so good spring.
That was a good spring.
I think we still have kids out competing right now for, is it forensics or something?
Forensics is in Arizona.
Nationals.
Yep.
Cool.
So it doesn't stop, the school's out.
It does not.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.